Monday is brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank.
Buried in debt, don't know how to climb out of it? There are myriad ways we can clean up our finances and get back on solid ground without going to the extreme. Here to help us navigate these sometimes murky money waters on this Money Monday is Howard Dvorkin, CPA, serial entrepreneur, a two-time author and chairman of Debt.com. It's good to see you, sir.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So last week we chatted with a lawyer who specializes in credit and negotiating with creditors to settle balances owed. But if you want to do it yourself, there are many ways to do it, and consolidation would be one of them. Before we get into that, I want to learn a little bit more about Debt.com and what this service provides.
Well, Debt.com is a free service, and essentially we are designed to help people get out of debt. It should be a one-stop shop, regardless if you need just advice and education or you need something more, a debt consolidation program, a debt settlement program, and even if you have tax debt, student loan issues, possible bankruptcy. So it's a one-stop shop, and you're going to get great advice. We operate all over the country, and we've been around for many, many years, and we partner with some of the best organizations in the business since we've been around. We know everybody who's good and bad, and Debt.com is the one place you can go to get honest, firsthand advice.
Why would someone then decide to maybe see a credit attorney?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to an attorney. You can go and do a lot of this stuff by yourself and educate yourself. And frankly, before you go see an attorney, because an attorney sometimes maybe puts you into a position you don't necessarily need to be put into. You need to have all your options explained to you rather than just one singular solution that the attorney provides. So Debt.com allows you to see all your options. And a lot of the times, consumers don't need to go that far into a plan in order to find a path out of debt.
And some of those paths, let's talk about them. One would be consolidation. Another one would be debt settlement. I mean, it all kind of depends on the severity of your individual case. But what would be some of the common paths that someone who is carrying debt that's weighing them down, that they can't seem to pay down with minimum payments every month, that they can then climb out of it and get to the next level where they're no longer carrying this burden with them?
Typically, there are two plans that Debt.com avails itself to. One is called a debt management plan, where we go through, negotiate with your credit card companies and try to lower your payment by 30 to 50%. But at the same time, we also go through and reduce your interest rates, so you pay off your balances in a 3 to 4 year period. With regards to a second option is called a debt settlement plan. And this plan is not great for everybody, because what happens is you stop making payments on your credit cards in order to get a leverage against your creditors. And in South Carolina, it has to be provided by a licensed attorney. The problem is you may get sued during the debt settlement plan and your credit gets destroyed. So it's a very harsh method of getting out of debt. But at the same time, you end up paying 40 cents on the dollar on average versus 100 cents on the dollar when you
get it wiped out. So you get it wiped out, but you end up paying on the back end with a bad credit rating. Well, this is a good place to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the common mistakes that people make that get themselves into these situations. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. On this Money Monday, we've been focusing on your credit, and we are talking to Howard Dvorkin. He's chairman of Debt.com. It's a website that offers free services to help you figure out your debt situation, whether it is to pay off, negotiate with creditors. There's so many different ways that you can wipe debt off of your record and live a freer, happier life. Besides the good debt in our lives, what are some of the mistakes, Howard, that people are making that get themselves into trouble?
You know, it's interesting. You brought up something. There is no good debt. There's better debt, and then there's really bad debt. And good debt is, buying a house. That's okay debt, student loans, you got something. But credit card debt is bad debt. Some of the mistakes that we see are people don't understand, and they don't take the time to educate themselves until it's too late. So there needs to be some education involved before you start using your credit card. What people should be doing is learning how to do a household budget and understanding what it takes to pay off your debt and the methods available to them to pay off that debt. At the end of the day, people, if you're going to use your credit cards, you need to make darn certain that you pay them off immediately as the bills come in, and don't continue to run a balance, because that's just going to get you in very bad position at some point.
When you talk about student loans, and I want to make this kind of the final piece to our conversation here, Howard, but with student loan debt, you can't wipe it away. It's there until you pay it off. So for someone, and now so many students, they have a lot of student debt. What is your advice for folks who want to just finally get rid of it once and for all, but don't necessarily have the means to do it?
Well, the rules have changed for student loan debt, and there are some exemptions that if you pay on it. Now we're talking federal student loans, because there's federal and private, but federal, you can actually eliminate your student debt by working for a nonprofit company or the government for 10 years. And at the end of 10 years, you can eliminate your debt, but you have to sign up now, and the clock starts once you sign up. Also, if you make payments for 25 years, which is unthinkable, but people, some
kind of like having a mortgage these days.
It's probably worse than having a mortgage.
Yes, I agree.
But at the end of the day, at least, but at the end of 25 years, they will wipe out whatever balance is remaining. So there are opportunities for people to manage their debt appropriately and their student loan debt. There's also consolidation, where you refinance your student debt, your student loan debt, and put it into a program where you can lower the interest rate that you're paying and eliminate it.
Such an interesting topic, and I know a lot of people can learn a lot from this. I've already learned so much already from you, Howard. We'd love to have you back. But for anybody who's interested in learning more about your services, where do they go?
They go to Debt.com.
Easy enough.
Happy to help them.
Perfect. Howard, thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
We're back in 2 minutes.